Mr. Feng. Can you tell us about your education and where you come from, more of your background a little bit?
I came to this country in 1982. I went to Hamilton to study. Got my master's degree in public administration.
Oh, okay. And how did you start your career after that?
In 1985, when I was graduating, the late Governor Louis purposely developing the Far East market. That was the time I joined the Minnesota Trade Office, and I've been with the Trade Office ever since then. You know, when you are with an organization for that long time, just like I am, somehow you feel you have been married to the organization. And that was my case, and I don't believe in divorce.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about what you do on a regular basis in your commute with, or your interrelationship with China and Minnesota together?
The purpose and the goals of the Minnesota Trade Office is to promote Minnesota manufactured exports to the global marketplace. We're a very small office. We have about a 14-person. We are a division of the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. By promoting Minnesota as a world competitor, there are lots of things that need to be done. We organize educational seminars, talking with the business community about the opportunities and challenges in the global marketplace. We go to companies, talk with them, encourage them to export, because nowadays things have changed. Export is just not monopoly for the rich and famous multinational Fortune 500 anymore. It has been I think many small, medium-sized companies have been pursuing this. To build an export-driven economy, we need to encourage more and more small and medium-sized companies to involve in the process. We also organize governor's trade mission. The trade office led trade missions to basically every country. We have some folks area. 1/3 of Minnesota exports is to the European Union, 1/3 to Asia Pacific region, another 1/3 is to the NAFTA countries. So we go around the state, we go to a small town, Minnesota, again the bottom line to encourage more Minnesota companies to export.
Do you think you've been successful in the past years of getting more companies to go exporting to Asia?
I think the trade office has been very successful. The trade office was established by the late Governor Rudy Purpose in 1983. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that in 2005, you probably heard about this. Governor Pawlenty that 218 Minnesota business, civic, education leaders in a massive show of force to China to showcase the power of Minnesota manufacturing capability. And that was the largest trade mission ever organized by a U.S. state.
Wow.
Also, you probably heard about this. During the trade mission, the governor went to Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. Every step of the way, it was followed by Governor Schwarzenegger of the state of California. Governor Plenty leads, Governor Schwarzenegger follows. So you can tell Minnesota has been very successful in promoting Minnesota as a world competitor.
Yeah. What would you say your largest challenge is with promoting Minnesota businesses?
The challenge is to go outside of the metro area. When you go to Minnesota cities and towns, when you talk with small and medium-sized companies, there's the myth that international trade is just for the multinational, the large companies. They have the manpower, they have the money to persuade the small companies how they are going to start. So we started the process As a matter of fact, lots of our educational programs, we do it in St. Paul, we do it in Minneapolis, so we get out of the metro area. Our educational program has been mobile. We want to go to small town, Minnesota, to talk with more companies. That has been a challenge, but you are doing it more often and gradually people are aware of the opportunity and challenges. More companies are going to jump on the bandwagon export, creating jobs from Minnesota.
Sounds good. When you're promoting or helping a larger company try and get to Asia versus a small town company business, what's the difference between the two, or do you promote them the same way?
Our focus is to promote small and medium-sized companies, but as a state agency, we don't make any difference as long as we have a request from the business community, whether that be a 3M or Medtronic or just a 5-person company. We don't make a difference helping which one. We don't pick the winners and losers. As long as you're a Minnesota-based company, the Minnesota Trade Office is willing to help you get reliable market information. Once companies have reliable market information, they can make better decisions than anybody. There's lots of creativity and ingenuity in the Minnesota business community.
So your main goal is to educate businesses. Do you do that through seminars, or do you go and meet the business owners themselves?
We do both, actually. We have programs running year-round. If you log on to our website at www.positivelyminnesota.com, you do a keyword search here, you will get a long list of the educational program organized by the Minnesota Trade Office. We also go to visit Minnesota company. Let's just say if some companies are aware of our services and the programs, great. If they are not aware, we'll just go out of the office, knocking on the doors, telling companies there are enormous opportunity in the global marketplace. As a Minnesota companies, they should pursue.
Well, as a student, it seems like there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to business and correlating with Asia and China especially. What's some advice you can give somebody coming out of college in order to get involved with that side of the business?
I would say have a forward-looking view. We all live in a global village. I'll give you one example what Governor Plenty did during the 2005 trade mission to China. Among these 218 participants, there were 8 high school students. During the trade mission through a statewide contest, and their trip was funded by corporate sponsors. It's a way, the governor's way for training the next generation of Minnesota business and civic leaders, have early exposure, having them have early exposure to the global marketplace, because today's kids are going to be the leaders for tomorrow. They are going to be the business leader, education leaders, government leaders, civic leaders. So this strategy by the state of Minnesota is transformational. It's a generation.
Okay, and one of my last questions is, you said Minnesota is very successful in their ventures with global trade. Like, who else are some high states that are making that global trade?
I can only speak for the Minnesota Trade Office in this regard. I'll give you one example regarding our manufactured exports to China. 1987, as a state, we only exported about $14 million of manufactured goods to China. By the end of 2005, that figure jumped to $1.15 billion.
Wow.
This is a B as in boy, or you can say B as in Bill Gates. This has enormous significance. because people were talking about the dream of trade with China. It goes all the way back to the 19th century England, and the owner was dreaming about selling 1 yard of his fabric to China, but to every Chinese. If he can get this done, his factory would be running around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for good, forever. So we're talking about Minnesota as a state, our export has reached to that degree. So the dream of trade with China is fast becoming a reality for Minnesotans, because after 2005, for 5 years running, we have been consistently above the $1 billion benchmark. So if you put these two figures on both sides of the equation, China has 1.3 billion people. On the other hand, we have exported $1.3 billion of manufactured goods to China. What does this tell you? It means for these 5 years running, that each and every Chinese has bought at least $1 of something from the state of Minnesota. It means that the dream to trade with China has been realized, has been materialized by the state.